Everyone joining us this morning. Today's Monday, September the 15th. This is the routine weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. Going to cover the next 7 days out through Sunday, September the 21st. My name is Barrett Smith. I'm the Senior Service Hydrologist here with the National Weather Service in Raleigh. And we got a bit to cover here. Forecast is kind of evolving this morning with a system that's off our coast. So we'll get right into that. And satellite imagery here this morning. You can see a swirl off the coast east of Wilmington, a coastal low there. Because you can see that swirl there, there's not a lot of storms over top of it. This is not a tropical system by definition. The structure is not there for a tropical system. So the Hurricane Center, this is not one that's being named or anything like that at the moment. However, anytime we have a low off the coast in the middle of August, September, hurricane season, the potential for heavy rain will definitely exist. And I think over the next 24 to 36 hours, we're likely to see that in parts of eastern North Carolina. So just wanted to show a nice imagery of that, that coastal low sitting there. And it's going to start to work its way to the northwest and west and eventually kind of move inland in the coast over the next 24, again, to 36 hours. And that's what's going to bring the heavy rain. So our overall, like we show every single week, again, today there in the top left, you can see that low pressure system. By Wednesday, it will have moved inland and then started to move off to the northeast, going to bring a lot of rain and moisture with it to later tonight and into tomorrow. Big picture wise, though, that moves out of here by Wednesday and Thursday. And then conditions should start to improve for the latter half of the week. Temperatures will be cool tomorrow in the 60s, but then warming back towards normal as we head towards the end of the week as high pressure builds in. So we'll be back in the upper 70s and 80s by this weekend. And then we have the potential for another front to kind of dip in here from the north. A lot of uncertainty out there as whether or not that will get here, but there is maybe the potential that that warm up could be brief and we could get back into a little bit of an unsettled pattern as we head into early next week. But the focus today is certainly on the rainfall. You can see from a rainfall forecast here, a big area of 1+ inches, 2+ inches in the northeastern part of the state. The Raleigh area is kind of on the edge of that. Some areas out towards the Triad or down towards Fayetteville may get lesser amounts, and there may be some areas that get very little, if any, over the next day or so with this system. But again, the heaviest rainfall looks like it will come tonight, early tomorrow, continue into Tuesday evening, and then eventually coming to an end by Thursday. This is the forecast through 8 p.m. Wednesday, so basically covering the next 48 hours. On the left, you will see our official forecast at the moment, which calls for anywhere from 1 to 3 inches, basically east of US 1, more on the northern side of the coastal plain. That's the current forecast. However, the models are trending a bit heavier with rainfall. On the right is a high-end chance, kind of like the 10% chance of what could happen, and the models have been showing us anywhere from 3 to 5 inches in those areas that are going to get the heavier rain. Our confidence is increasing that some areas are going to get that 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. There are some signals in the model that once this system starts to make its track westward and we get some bands of rain coming in, there are some signals in the model that some areas could get 7+ inches, 10 inches of rain. Again, I don't want to make that sound like a lot of areas are going to get that, but I think there is the potential that when these showers start to move in inland and kind of line up, some area, let's say maybe Rocky Mount, Tarboro eastward, might be favored for some very, very heavy rainfall. And again, the forecast is evolving, so we're looking at the tools and working on trying to get our best idea. But I think the northern coastal plain of North Carolina may be under the gun tonight and tomorrow for some locally heavy rainfall. With that, our excessive rainfall outlooks have been updated. Again, it's been dry. Everyone knows that we've been, very dry really since the middle of August. So some of this rain is needed, but anytime we get those amounts, it will overwhelm the system. And so there is a potential, at least a marginal risk of some localized flooding in those areas I talked about later tonight and into tomorrow. Thunderstorms aren't the bigger deal with this. There may be some instability out there to give us a thunderstorm or two embedded within these showers. But again, our focus is not on severe weather right now. But don't be surprised if you're in the northern or eastern part of the state if you hear a rumble of thunder or two. There's actually some better chances for severe weather further north and east towards the Tidewater of Virginia. But in our area, the chance of a severe weather is very low. In addition to that coastal system, there is a system that the Hurricane Center is watching. It's way out in the central Atlantic right now, but does have a high probability of developing over the next several days. We'll keep an eye on that and watch it. The track would be towards the southeastern U.S., but it's got a long way to go. There is a potential it could get picked up and pushed back out to sea. So just a lot of wait and see there, but just do be aware that there is a system we're watching. Looking a little further out, I mentioned the return to near normal temperatures out in the 8 to 14 day time frame. So September 22nd through the 28th. Above normal temperatures are favored across most of the eastern U.S. and near normal to maybe above normal rainfall during that time frame as well. No real clear signals at the moment for anything in that realm. So try to summarize it here. Again, a coastal low off the coast right now will drift inland tonight and tomorrow. It's going to bring some heavy rain, potentially some very heavy rain to portions of northeastern North Carolina. Would not be surprised if some flood watches are out shortly this afternoon. Once we get through that, high pressure builds in for the rest of the week. Should be a nice end to the week. I mentioned there's a potential maybe for a front later in the weekend, early next week. We'll see how that goes. But the focus again right now is the evolving forecast and the potential for some heavy rain and at least minor flooding over portions of northeastern North Carolina. So thank you for your attendance today, and we'll be continuing to update the forecast. Please, follow your trusted sources for weather. Check back with us, and we'll continue to update as we head into tonight and into tomorrow. Thank you.